got the vibe, we got the flow. Jeff Foxx, taking you behind the mic, keeping you in the know. Where the real stories are told, where the truth and the soul unfold. Now you know it's the Jeff Foxx Show. Behind the mic podcast.
John?
Hey there, is this Jeff Foxx?
Jon B?
Jon B. Yes, sir.
The great Jon B on the line.
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
How you doing, John?
I'm blessed, man. Everything's great. I can't complain.
You've been one of my favorites. I mean, for years. For years.
Oh, thank you.
You low key and you keep it moving. Do you see that?
Yeah, I keep it moving for sure. Word up, man. Thanks for recognizing that.
I've noticed that throughout your entire career. Let's take the fast ride on the Jon B career for the folks listening in for the first time. Where you from?
I'm from Altadena, California, really.
Wow.
It's right above Pasadena. Yeah, man. I mean, I grew up in Pasadena, California. I was born in Rhode Island on the East Coast.
No doubt.
And my father is a professor of music, and he's pretty much went as far as you can go with music, you know, as far as like developing. He's a violinist, but he basically became a conductor and conducted symphony orchestras and opera and all this stuff. So I grew up in a very musical family, and he got offered a job in L.A. when I was very young, about 4 years old. So we moved from the East Coast to Los Angeles, and well, basically, we moved to Pasadena. And so I grew up, for the most part, on the West Coast. But I got that East Coast blood in me. So, you know, it's kind of cool because I realized much later, about 13 years old, my sister's 3 years older than me. And she took the GED. When she was 16, she moved to New York, basically, make a long story short. She wanted to see what her roots were like, you know. She's like, so, you know, she went back out there, and I kind of followed her in her footsteps. Every summer, I would go out to New York and visit my sister from 13 on. So I kind of felt like I got both experiences.
You do. You got the best of both coasts, both giant coasts. You got the Jon B experience.
There it is.
So, you know, being a child of the music, you know, did you know right away, ooh, this is what I want to do? It's in your blood, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, from the moment I could make a rhythm basically beating on a table or something like that, you know, I had a natural kind of way of doing it where all the kids were like, wow, how is he doing that with his hands? And I was making the hi-hat and the kick and the snare all at the same time with my hands and shuffling the beat a certain way to where it was like I was playing a kit, you know, but I was just on the pergola table you know, at lunchtime. The thing was, it's kind of like a natural gift that you have. The rhythm, for me, it started with the rhythm. It began to progress because I was singing songs that I knew and singing along and matching the pitch and the tone and trying to even sing like the singer, whoever it was, you know, trying to match their tonality, you know. So, yeah, that was a big part of just me starting my musical journey. It really helped out having grandparents that own a record store, I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you that.
All that vinyl sitting around me and just like, oh my God, I used to spread all the records just all around, you know, and just look at all the covers at the same time and just pick one up, reading the credits, all that, you know, and the lyrics and all that, diving into different people's creative worlds, you know, and seeing what artists do, you know. So it's like a museum of influence, you know, all those records sitting around me. You know, I would just...
That was a very social thing to do. I remember coming up, inviting my friends over, and we all sitting around, you know, reading liner notes.
Yeah. I mean, I had a couple muso buddies that, you know, because we were trying to get groups together back in my day. We were trying to get harmony groups together. So I was trying to record anybody in my neighborhood. If you were a rapper or if you were a singer, if you were a group, I was trying to do your demo, you know. I had a 4-track. I was blessed enough to, you know what to get at a young age.
What did you get?
I got a synthesizer. You know, my Casio CZ101 was my first synthesizer, you know, because I was basically DJing around my neighborhood and just earning $50 here, $50 there. If I did a production for somebody or some, you know, help them produce the record, I'd probably make $150 or something.
Hey, that's
like
nice
that.
Back in those days.
That was nice, man. But I produced your whole joint, you know what I mean?
I remember back in the day, it was that my first 4-track was that Tascam cassette recorder. Remember that Tascam player? You put the cassette.
That was what I used.
That was the joint?
The 424.
That's right.
That was all you needed. I was flipping it, making it like a 16 track.
That's
right.
Bouncing. That's great.
Got to make it do what it needs to do,
That's
man,
right.
until you get what you need, you know. And so kept upgrading and getting more equipment, and then, you know, pretty soon it was a 16-track Tascam reel to reel. That changed everything because that was before ADATs. As soon as ADATs came out, it was over.
Yeah.
I got me a couple of those, and I was even 3 of those.
I remember the ADAT player.
You know what I mean? 8 tracks on each one of those. So, no, we just kept on building and just kept on expanding. I progressed as a producer and a songwriter and an artist. My demos and my songs became more elaborate. You could hear it as I was going. You know what I mean? It went from real basic to all of a sudden now you got 8 tracks of, you know, the hook sounds real big and your choruses sound real nice and your vocals sounds real nice. So by the time I was about, I want to say 18, maybe even 17 and a half, I was really so determined to just be done with high school and get a deal that I started shopping my demos down in Hollywood.
Right.
And really kind of being really gully about it too, walking up in there like with the security guard, you supposed to be here? Yeah, man, I got an appointment. Knowing that I don't have an appointment, you know, but I might be cool with the front clerk, you know, the front little, you know, receptionist, you know, she might think I'm cute or so. I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, can I can I just sit here and wait for Daryl to come out, man? I was supposed to meet with Daryl, you know.
You were committed.
Yeah, I was hustling. I was kind of stalking everybody, you know, in that way. But you could do that back then, you know, back in the day. No, I remember getting escorted out a couple times. No, but you got to do that.
They got that elbow, didn't they, John?
I was hungry enough to go up into Motown, you know, and sit there and wait, and then get told, no, he's not going to meet with you, and still not let that get me down because I was back up in that building next week, you know what I mean?
Kidding.
And with the same intensity. And pretty soon they had to let me in. And then when they finally let me in, it's a funny story because I went to sit down with like one of the heads of Motown at the time, and I'm not going to say his name. He had a chance to sign me. He had everything that he needed from me. And then that's right when Babyface called his office and said, do you have a young man by the name of Jonathan B up in there? And he says, actually, yeah, I do. Why are you calling? I thought you were calling me to talk to me about something, man. He's like, no, I'm trying to see if you have that guy in your office, because if you do, tell him to come see me after he comes sees you. And he's like, oh, like that, man. Like, wow. And I'm like, I'm sitting here bugging out like, did Babyface just call you on your phone asking to meet me? Like, that's so crazy. You know what I mean? So I rushed on over to Babyface and
let me roll over there.
And the rest is history. So Tracy Edmonds and Babyface, you know, they signed me up.
Wow.
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
Epic Records and put out Someone to Love. The duet between Babyface and I, you know, as my first record. Are you kidding me? Like, that was, for an R&B lover like myself, someone who's so dedicated to the craft. I would have been cool just producing records and writing for people, honestly.
No kid.
It was Babyface who pushed me into the seat of being an artist, because he was like, that's you on the demo? And I'm like, yeah, that's me. I'm just singing my song. You know, I love your voice, man. I love, you know, all New Edition. I started naming all my people. He's like, why don't you be an artist, you know?
Wow.
And I was just like, all right.
And that's the way that started. Isn't that something? It's Jeff Foxx. Today we're behind the mic with Jon B. Jon, how long did it take you to get into that artist mindset?
Well, I had produced After 7 at the time, his brothers. I did 4 or 5 songs for After 7. It's amazing. One of them was a single. It was called Damn Thing Called Love. A dope video for that we did for that too as well. Yeah, that was back when R&B was just at its absolute finest, in my opinion, from the videos and the way that the video directors were directing the art direction for the videos and the way the editing. I mean, all of it was done on film too back then. It wasn't done on digital camera. So it had a certain sheen to it. If you don't know that song, check it out. It's called Damn Thing Called Love. It was written by your boy right here and produced by your boy. And that was my first record that I ever had come out as a single for a major group that I loved and, you know, grew up loving. And Kenny put me on that project. A great situation. I want to say rest in peace to my brother from another mother, Melvin, you know, Melvin Edmonds, the lead singer of Well, they're all the lead singers, really,
Right.
of After Seven.
You and Kevon still keep up with each other?
For sure, absolutely. I'm kind of an extended member, like a stepson.
No doubt. What did They Don't Know do for you? Because that is definitely one of my favorites.
Oh, man, They Don't Know was the first record that I wrote that from the heart. I wrote that from the sense that so many elements in my life that are making me feel like this. I just want to say a statement to everybody at the same time. Like, it was almost like, let me address hearsay in my relationships and all this, and people hating on me for being successful and coming up, to the label and everybody who just trying to tell me how to be and how to sound and this and that. I mean, it just felt like the voice that everyone needed to hear, saying the message that everybody at that time needed to hear. You know, I just wanted to tell everybody something.
You know what? That's an R&B staple. That song is timeless. It don't go nowhere.
Thank you,
and
man.
every time it comes on the radio, no matter what song it's coming out, it fits. No matter what song it's going into, it fits.
I gotta big up Tim Kelly and Bob Robinson for that track. So infamous in the R&B game as far as all the hits that they've made over the years. And when I first heard that track, it just spoke to me in a certain way. I wanted to tell a story. It was so easy to pin that down. And but I feel like the hook really is something that still to this day, I stand to top that. Not that I would try to, but I feel like it really says everything I'm about as an artist.
John, that song is R&B royalty.
Yeah, respect, brother.
That's what that
Appreciate
is.
it, man.
Let's talk about the new song. You got something going down with Tank right now. Tell me about the collaboration with Tank.
That's what's up. Yeah. Well, this is an honor to do this with my brother from another mother right here, man. This guy Tank is R&B legend himself, and he's royalty, and someone that I'm very, very glad to know in this day and age. And it's so refreshing to know a personality and a talent like his. You know, he's a diamond in the rough for sure. He's he's a rare breed. There's not many guys built like Tank. His charisma and his belief in R&B music and his support for R&B music. He just has such a consistent spirit to me. Like every time he comes around, I'm like, that's big bro, you know? But at the same time, we might be the same age. You know, I might even be a little older. I don't know, but his spirit is strong to me. And, you know, he's an example to me of how to be a man with eloquence and swag, and at the same time, how to be a self-contained unit. Sometimes you got to be the only one that's pushing, you know, behind your whole thing, you know? It's just got to be like that. And I've been able to see him sustain for some years now. I've been in the game since 1995.
Exactly.
But watching guys come up like Tank, be self-contained, write their songs, produce their songs, put them out, do tours, be successful. It reminds me of myself. It reminds me of the goals that I have in my mind. So anytime I see somebody else setting that standard and that sense of like, all right, we're going to set the bar this high this year, to me, it makes me want to shoot for something even better with my music, you know. So Waiting on You was a song where I heard the track, kind of like when I heard Tim Kelly and Bob Robinson's track for They Don't Know. It just, when I first heard this Waiting on You track that my man Brady Watt produced, big up Brady Watt, man. He's an amazing talent as well out of New York City. He sent me maybe about 4 tracks, and this was the first track that I heard. It just spoke to me right away. I sat down and I started writing a song from the aspect of being gone from the industry so long. And at the same time, I'm always gone from the house. You know, I'm always on the road. I'm always anticipating a new show where I have to be next. It's just a hustle, the music business, you know. So I don't want to make it sound like it's just all flowers all the time, because
no, it's a
grind. A lot of it's a grind. I got to jump on a lot of planes. I got to check into a lot of hotels. I got to do a lot of sound checks and get ready and wait to do the show, and all that anticipation, man. They can have you pacing back and forth, waiting to get on stage, waiting to do this, waiting to go back home. For me, I had to just write a song about it and just say, Waiting on You, man. I named my album Waiting on You. Right before the pandemic, I really intended on putting the album out. And that's right when I worked with Donnell Jones on the song Understand, which is also on the album.
Nice.
Which is a banger, R&B banger. I love that song, and I love Donnell Jones. And it was a pleasure to work with him, you know, produce and write for him as well, and have him dig what I wrote for him, you know, and just say, oh, yeah, I'll do that, man. Send me that over, man, so I could send you back this diamond gem of a vocal. And he sent me back that John. I was like, oh, my gosh, man, what are we doing here? And then I was like, man, it'd be dope if we could do a video for it. He's like, no problem. He flew out to LA, shot the video, pulled the Aventador out, had to just do the R&B thing for a minute. And it was really good to get it with my brother. We've been in the game for so long. So, to get it together was really a dope thing. We had actually a similar situation happen right before the video where we performed at the Soul Train Awards.
Right.
Back to back. And they were honoring us. BET, Soul Train was honoring us that night in 2018. I went on and then I brought him on, and that was a really cool way to honor each other and still be honored at the same time. So backstage, we chopped it up and I said, man, I got this record for you. I would love you to check it out. Most of the time you do that, you don't get a call back. You don't get an instantaneous result. Like, nah, he was like, man, I'm with it. Let's do it. I love this song. Let's go. So, yeah, I love it when it comes together. It's very, very much the same way the Tank situation came together. It's just effortless, man.
Yeah, man. I'm so glad, that you're still in the game and still grinding. Your stories, your climb, your dedication is so inspiring for folks listening in, trying to do anything. You can apply that to anything you're trying to do in life. You got to keep grinding. They're going to slam some doors, but you got to go through another door or climb through a window or whatever it is. You got to keep it moving, and that's what Jon B does.
And it's beautiful to support each other, not break each other down, man. I will say that.
That's
I will
true.
tell you, I'm about building, not breaking.
Right on.
I'm about building, not destruction. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a guy who wants to hold people back or try to see somebody get held back in any instance. I'm not a hater. I'm a lover. I want people to know that about me. Like, I'm ready to build with you no matter who you are. Like, if we on the planet, we in this 3-dimension together, like, I'm ready to build while we're really here. That's it. That's just what we got, I was blessed enough to work with Tupac while he was here, you know what I'm saying? With the man, you know what I mean? For real, for real. Most people got to work with his voice after he was gone, but I know the guy.
Right.
I met him, and so we have that record to always go back to and reflect on, and spiritually, he's here every time I play it, you know what I mean? Right in front of his face.
No doubt. So how do folks get in contact with the real Jon B?
I'm official Jon B everywhere on all the social media and all the digital, stuff. Official JONB. But I'm in your area very soon because I'm going to be on tour very soon with this new album. It is entitled Waiting on You. The new single featuring Tank is also the title track of the album, Waiting on You. And we have some beautiful features on the album. I'm really excited to say I work with Rick Ross on the album.
You got the boss?
Oh my gosh, I went to his house, man, chopped it up with him. We both expressed mutual respect for each other, I could tell he was, definitely in support of my project. So there was another effortless situation, So the song is beautiful. Beautiful record everybody needs to hear, man. I got Alex Isley on the record as well. Alex is just, she's an up-and-coming artist now, the daughter of Ernie Isley.
Unbelievable.
R&B royalty already.
Unbelievable.
So I felt very inclined to work with her just off of her name, but then, like, her voice precedes her. I mean, her voice is so everything you need to hear. I'm blessed to, have worked with her as well on the album. Like I said, I worked with Donnell Jones and Tank. So we got Alex Isley, Rick Ross, and I feel so blessed to come with 4 features on this independent record that I'm putting out.
That's Jon B, and he's doing his thing. And we really appreciate you, Jon. All the best, my friend. All the best.
Thank you, Jeff, so much, man, for having me on, man. Take care, bro.
Take care, Jon. And thank you so much for checking out this episode of the Jeff Foxx Show Behind the Mic podcast with Jon B. Now, remember, you can also check out the nationally syndicated Jeff Foxx radio show, bringing you the best in music, culture, and conversation every day. You can also stream us online. Just look for the Jeff Foxx Show affiliate and pick your station. You take care, and we'll talk to you next time.
We got the vibe, we got the flow. Jeff Foxx, taking you behind the mic, keeping you in the know. Where the real stories are told. Where the truth and the soul unfold. Now you know it's the Jeff Foxx Show. Behind the Mic podcast.